Well, we had an epic day one at the Grand Canyon. After about 1,700 miles from Minnesota to Arizona in our 2021 Model Y, we're ready to explore the Grand Canyon. I've been here a couple times on my own for short stops, and Ellie and I were here almost 20 years ago and rode mules down to the Bright Angel Point. But this is our first time back since, and Joan's first time, so we wanted to take more time and really experience the canyon. While researching on YouTube, I found the channel Dirt in My Shoes, and Ash, a former park ranger, offers great general advice, and her website offers park itineraries to help get the most out of your trip. I found it super helpful with everything from dining and lodging tips to flexible schedules that help plan your days without being bogged down by crowds or lines. We adapted things a bit, but it was great to know that we were getting the most out of our time, or if we skipped something, to know what we were missing and whether or not it was important to us. This isn't sponsored or anything, I just wanted to share the resource. One thing that isn't called out in the itineraries is resources for EV drivers, so I'll be sharing some thoughts and feedback about that as a suggestion for future versions. But more on that later. This morning we were up early, parked at the visitor center, and on the shuttle towards Hermit's Rest. This explores the western edge of the park, small hikes to viewpoints or along the canyon rim in part of the park I'd never visited. Fun to see the mule train starting down the Bright Angel Trail on the adjacent cliff face, and crazy to look out at Bright Angel Point, knowing that's only halfway down, then follow the trails and switchbacks still ahead of them. We'll get a much closer look when we hike part of it in a couple days. A little brisk in the wind of mid-April, but beautiful and solitary. On parts of the rim trail, we went 10 minutes or more between seeing other hikers. At Powell Point, there's a small tower you can climb for a slightly better view, or to leave a GoPro while you look around. From this bus stop, we walked west along the rim trail to the next couple overlooks and stopped for a good snack along the way. It was nice to be out here and feel like we had the whole canyon to ourselves. Somewhere along here, we also got our first glimpse of the Colorado River, way down in there. At Mojave Point, we caught the bus again and rode out to Hermit's Rest, with the plan to pick up the other stops along the way back, because Hermit's Rest has restrooms and sandwiches for a real lunch, and that's what we needed. So we took a break in the shade and out of the worst of the wind. After lunch and some downtime, we headed back east on the shuttle, stopping at Pima Point and the Abyss. Then back on the shuttle to the rim trail along Grand Canyon Village. Unfortunately, the galleries were closed for renovation, but we got some huckleberry ice cream and the views are beautiful anywhere. We took a quick walk through the historic El Tovar Hotel, and the Hopi House. Lots of cool stuff there, but close quarters for kids. It was around this point that our early morning was catching up with us, so back to the car and back to Tusayan. Joe, did you have a fun walk? Yeah, it was a long one. Yeah, but she did great. She was a trooper. We're just stopping at Wendy's, getting a simple dinner. It's only 3:15 here, but to us, Minnesota time, it's 5:15, and we've got another early morning tomorrow. We did great getting up and getting to the park early and beating most of the crowds. We had some really nice solitude moments along the trails and things, so that was great. We'll get back to the hotel with 37%. We rode buses, shuttles all day, so that's really easy. We'll see how I'm feeling early in the morning. If I wake up super early again, I might run over and supercharge a little while the price is cheap. Not really worried about it. Again, if I have the energy to do it, I might just take care of that tomorrow, but no rush. So we're gonna hang out at the hotel for a little while, maybe hit the pool for a bit, and rest up for a bigger day tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do one of the more intense hikes, not all the way down into the canyon obviously, but we're going to go down below the rim and do some exploring. Really looking forward to that, but it's going to be a more challenging day. But we'll call it here for tonight and check back in the morning. Good morning. It is 4:25 in the morning, 6:25 my time, which works out nice. This morning when I got up, I sent the navigation to the Tusayan Supercharger, hoping it would start preconditioning, but it didn't until I got in the car and hit navigate here. So it had the location set, just didn't precondition. I thought that might be the case, so I did turn on the climate just to start warming things up a little bit. But you can see we just have to go to this across the street, so we'll probably get slow charging, but it's also going to be cheaper this time of the morning, I hope. So let's get over there, plug in, and make a plan for the day. I'm going to try to hit sunrise at the Grand Canyon. And we're here with 30%, 4:28 a.m. Since our last charge, we've only gone 15 miles driving up to the canyon and back, but we've got a longer drive this morning, so wanted to get charged up. So far on the trip, we've gone 1,697 miles, average energy of 315 watt-hours per mile. Now, these are all V2 superchargers here, but being at 30% and having probably a pretty cold battery, I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. I originally saw 78 kilowatts, now we're down to 69. Charging fee is still 43 cents a kilowatt hour, which is tough, but it's at least better than having the congestion fee added of 50% or 50 cents. It's saying an hour remaining to our charge limit because we're set to 100%. I'm going to make a plan for sunrise. That happens at 6 a.m. So I want to be on the rim of the canyon by then, which isn't far away. That won't be a problem, but I don't know that I'll go all the way to 100%. But the girls are still sleeping, so I've got time to kill. All right, still at the supercharger. We're up to 92%. It says 15 minutes remaining. Obviously, I don't need any more. We're also at 5:15 in the morning. Sunrise is at 6. And I think I found a good spot to try and catch the sunrise. We'll see, you never know. But it's going to take a little bit of hiking from where I think I can park. So I'm going to unplug here and head up. Hopefully the sun, the clouds all of it works out and we get something fun to show. If not, there's always tomorrow morning, and if not, there's always Tuesday morning. Hope I don't need all of those opportunities, but we'll see. So far, our charging cost has been $19.14 so far. But like everything in these tourist areas, we had dinner, very simple. It was good, but very simple dinner, and with tip, it ended up over $60. It's either fast food or you're paying through the nose for everything. The grocery stores are ridiculously expensive just because of where we are. You can see the sky is starting to lighten a little bit, so I want to get on the move. That was a total of 1946. We're at 94%. Plenty for the next few days. Let's get out to the canyon. Well, I think that turned out pretty well. It was beautiful in real life, at least. But I am frozen solid and need to get back and get the girls. But we've got more hiking to do, so let's get to it. Before long, we were back at the visitor center taking the shuttle to the South Kaibab Trail, and I was almost thawed out. This trail is far more challenging than our Outlooks and rim hikes from the day before, so our goal was just to get below the rim for that incredible perspective and hopefully make it as far as Ua Point. South Kaibab is also harder than Bright Angel Trail, but also less crowded, and we'll hit that one tomorrow. Every few switchbacks, we'd sit for a minute, have a sip of water or a snack, and I was really impressed by how well Joan was doing. Since we can get a little unsteady on our feet, she and I were tethered with climbing harnesses just in case. The drop-offs here are massive, and you only get one chance to make a mistake. Luckily, we didn't have any true close calls. We hiked down about an hour, not quite to Ua Point, before stopping for a bigger break and meal to make sure we'd have enough in the tank to get back up. But even here, the views and scale were magnificent. Rested and fortified, we started back up again, stopping as needed for short breaks along the way. I'm amazed now to look back on the timestamps of the photos to see it only took us about 15 minutes more to get back to the top. Joan's a trail monster. While recovering at the top and waiting for the bus, we said hi to the mules. then stopped by Yaqui Point for another view and saw some condors, but the long lens was too heavy to hike with and still in the car. Speaking of which, we were soon back to the visitor center to pick up the car and make our way out to Desert View Tower, at the eastern edge of the park where Joan and I had entered. It was new to Ellie though, and we were able to take more time there. We had lunch out there. We should have got tickets to go to the top of the tower before we went and had lunch because there was about an hour-long wait and it's timed entry, so not too many people go up at a time. And the tickets are free. You just have to grab one for a time slot. So that was kind of bad planning, but by the time we got out there, we've been sitting a while. We did one more overlook, and then the girls at the other overlooks just wanted to stay in the car and rest. So we hit a couple more that just I went out on, and now we're back at the hotel. It's 5 p.m. to us, and so we'll kind of reset, chill out a little bit at the hotel, then go grab dinner, have an early night again tonight, and tomorrow we're going to do part of the Bright Angel Trail. So another big hiking morning. Hopefully it goes as well as today, and we'll have some beautiful scenery. Since our last charge, we have only gone 72.8 miles at 67% with an average energy of 199 watt hours per mile. So that's pretty great, but I think car-wise, that's about it for tonight. While exploring more of the hotel that night, we came across some grounds crew friends, keeping things tidy up front and back by the volleyball pits. A friend of a different kind joined Jake in the parking lot to close out the day. The crew was working again bright and early, so Joan had to say hi as we drove back north, parked at the visitor center, and rode the shuttle bus to Bright Angel Trailhead. The meals were ready to go, and we got to hear a little of the familiar instructions from the trail boss to a group of excited riders. While they saddled up, we started our trek on foot, with our goal of making it to the second tunnel this morning. Walk. Woo! We were on the trail a few years ago. So
were you?
With you guys, yeah.
Well, how about it? That's awesome, guys.
We loved it.
See, you enjoyed it.
Thank you. You too. Although not easy, this trail is less aggressive than South Kaibab's hike yesterday, and we were able to make it to the second tunnel in an hour and 10 minutes. We took another good snack and fluids break just past the tunnel to take some time enjoying this lower perspective. It's really profound how tiny we are in comparison. We took it slow with lots of breaks going up again, but not as many photos or videos as the trail was getting pretty busy. And we made it off the trail just as some small rain showers were beginning to fall down there. Good timing. More on this in the next episode, but we had to take a celebratory photo in our Route 66 recharged gear we bought from the electric duo Patrick and Liv. Links below for these great designs for a fun project, but again, more on that in the next one. Joan was a trooper again, though, with a good attitude and definitely deserved another cup of huckleberry ice cream. Along the rim, we continued east again through the Trail of Time, where each step is a million years and rock samples from the canyon layers line the path. A neat, tactile experience and a relatively easy walk to Yavapai Point. But by then we were pretty spent. So took the shuttle back to the visitor center, got some final gifts and souvenirs, then one final look from Mather Point. Good morning, it is 6:32, 31 degrees, had a little snow and ice on the car this morning. 47% now, I think we were at 50 before I started preconditioning. It's trying to warm itself up. Since our last charge here the other day, we've gone 87 miles, 204 watt hours per mile, total for the trip there. The girls are still sleeping, and it just made sense to come over here and get a little bit of charge this morning, even though we're gonna go slow while the battery warms up. The plan for the day is to head down to the interstate and take essentially Route 66 over to Kingman, then up to maybe the Hoover Dam and Las Vegas. Las Vegas is the stop for the night, and so it just made sense to minimize stops when Joan's with me. I can have breakfast, get ready for the day, do some stuff on the phone while I wait here. Then we can do our final packing once the girls are up. Ellie's shuttle picks her up at the Grand Canyon at 10 a.m. So I'm thinking we'll leave about 9:15 or something, just so she's a little early from the hotel, but that's still several hours away and no rush. So rather than sit in the dark hotel room and keep editing, trying not to wake them up, I figured I'd get a jump on the day. Any extra charge we get for today just means less we'll need to do on the road. We can move a little faster and spend more time doing sightseeing instead of charging. Although charging times really haven't been an issue for us on this trip, but I like to get ahead of it when we can. When I was a kid and we'd have sleepovers, I was always the one who was awake way before the person whose house you were at was awake. And so you'd just be sitting there in your sleeping bag or wherever, just like, all right, what are we doing now? So it's nice to have something to do in the morning while they sleep. All right, an hour and 5 minutes remaining to get to 100%. We don't need quite 100, but the battery's still warming up at only 35 kilowatts. 36 now. And 43 cents a kilowatt hour, so still kind of expensive. Well, it's now 7:36. I just kind of made a plan for the rest of the day. Watched a couple of YouTube videos to catch up on what's been going on in the last week. We're at 96%, only charging at 22 kilowatts, saying 10 minutes remaining to get to 100%. Don't need to stay that long, but that's why you just don't generally go above 90% because it gets so slow. And because the battery was cold and we were starting from cold this morning, I think the max I ever saw was 43 kilowatts coming in, so pretty slow charge all around. But we killed some time this morning. If the girls aren't up yet, they should be getting up soon, so I'll give this a couple more minutes just to maybe take it to 740. But yeah, now we're down to 16 kilowatts, so no point in sticking around much longer. All right, 740. So 1666, got up to 97%. Plenty for our first stretches today. I'd done a pretty thorough cleaning and packing job the night before, so with the girls up, we did that last-minute packing and checkout. But we'd been getting to the park so early the other days, we didn't account for long entrance lines. Eventually, we made it through, and Ellie made it to her shuttle with 3 minutes to spare. Sad to see her go, but we had had an incredible time, and Joan and I were about to embark on an epic return trip to Minnesota, through Zion and Bryce Canyon National Parks, and more coming up in this series. Like and subscribe if you don't want to miss it. In the meantime, thanks for watching, have a great day, and happy road tripping.